welcome back. And as Charlie Walker says, we're live.
We are live.
A little bit different. Hopefully, y'all can't tell. I'm behind the sticks today. Should be good. If you don't see a show tomorrow or tonight, it's because it went tragically and horribly wrong. The boys are back at full strength. Ev, welcome back. Your time in the sin bin was a little too long. Welcome back to the club.
Yeah, good to be back. Excited to jump into some things today. So, go ahead and just kind of jump right into it. I know you guys told me did not wrap the show yesterday with the gambling corner. So I hear that
the gambling corner was missed.
We did not, and I figure we can just touch on that when we get to the end of this show with our picks. College football is done for all intents and purposes, boys. We do have 2 games this weekend. We'll touch on those as well, but I think we'd be doing a disservice to not start with the news of the day that happened, in less than an hour ago. Sharon Moore is out at Michigan.
Yeah, I don't even know what to think considering Michigan just hasn't been that relevant this year. But still a huge job.
And Biff Poggi, the former high school football coach of Charlie, our old roommate Jake, he is named the interim coach at the moment. Obviously, I think they're going to probably make a different hire. But, Ev, tell us, Sharon Moore just never really had it. He was never the Michigan coach.
No, he wasn't. However, this is a little surprising to me.
Weird timing.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem. It's surprising the timing in the sense of who are they going to fill in now. I mean, listen, it's still a lot of good options out there. Who's going to leave for this job? There's no names that immediately jump to mind for me. When the LSU job opened, the Florida job opened, it was, of course, Lane Kiffin, some of those other names, Summerall. But right now, I'm not sure who Michigan's going to go after. I'm tending to lean towards they're going to go after maybe a guy who's been out of coaching for a little bit right now, an older guy, someone who has some experience. But I don't know. I think this could go a lot of different ways. What are your guys' thoughts?
I mean, the funniest thing would be for them to bring Urban Meyer out of retirement.
Yeah.
That would be just hilarious. I would have thought that this coaching, this dismissal was truly because he was just not a good football coach, not a Michigan coach. They had the quietest 9-3 year, it felt like, of all time. But it turns out, just with the timing and everything, it does make me think that, okay, maybe they weren't planning to fire him. Just why would you set yourself so far behind the 8 ball here?
So,
yeah, I feel like they kind of came in right when the coaching carousel was coming to a slow roll.
So, a couple things. One, unlike most programs, this is Michigan we're talking about. This is a top 5 job in college football.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently this is completely conjecture, so I have no backing on this source. I just looked at a group message that I'm in. Apparently he may have been doing some stuff with a staffer behind the scenes. So how true that is not as I have heard there's some things floating around the rumor
That's
mill.
a big accusation.
That there may be a little bit more to this or this may be unfootball related at the heart. How true that is, I have no idea, but there is conjecture.
Interesting.
Yeah. That's why I said I lean to think maybe this wasn't because he's just a shitty football coach, because I feel like if that was the only reason, they would have done this in the cycle, because Lane Kiffin, I mean, maybe he's interested in doing a Michigan thing instead of an LSU thing. Regardless, you've missed out on all the biggest coaches. I do think there was a pregnancy, something knocked somebody up maybe, or I'm not sure. But yeah, definitely some unsavory things.
Well,
is this a spot where we could see Gruden?
That's the thing that jumps to my mind.
Could you imagine?
I just don't see Gruden in this job. I don't know why. I think if you're going to get John Gruden back somewhere, it's going to be somewhere warm. But you said he's, football reasons he's a bad football coach. I don't think he's that bad of a football coach at the end of the day. Is he what Michigan's going to come to and expect? Is he going to get Michigan to the next level where a program like Michigan expects to be? I don't think so. But he's done a really good job recruiting, getting some big names in there.
How much of that is the Michigan brand, though?
Yeah, again, but it still takes a little bit to get in there, and he hasn't been an awful football coach.
I guess Bryce stays.
You'd hope so.
Right,
hope so.
Regardless.
Hey,
I don't
Maybe
know if I
Justice
can get on the
Haynes.
train that
Maybe
he hasn't
Justice
been.
Haynes will be
I don't know.
leaving again. Hop back on the
I don't know that I
transfer
can
portal.
get on the trend that he wasn't a bad football coach. So I mean, with the talent he's had, I mean, I just think he was the O-line coach that Harbaugh left in the way he did, and there was nobody really that wanted to take that sinking ship on.
Yeah, but I mean, again, taking the sinking ship on, it's a tough task. I'm just not at a point where I can say he's a bad football coach. I can't sit here and say he's a very good football coach either, but I'm not gonna put the word bad in front of him as a football coach. I won't do that.
Yeah, I just don't know where they look for their next job. Like some of the, I mean, is this the moonshot for a Dabo? Do you still try to go get Elko, even though I think Elko re-upped his contract? Do you see if you can lure like a Dan Lanning or something like that out of the Big Ten into what people would think is a bigger job? I think I'd rather be at Oregon right now than Michigan, but
Do they get John Harbaugh? Do they get the other Harbaugh?
the other Harbaugh, I don't know
Well,
if he's going to have the same. I think the people are going to remember what Jim was like, and then John comes in. It's like a diet version of Jim. I don't know if that's going to move the needle. I tell you, a guy that could be a really good hire. I don't know that they'd ever go this route, but this guy's been a great coach everywhere he's been, and that includes making Purdue relevant for a couple years. Jeff Brom at Louisville. I know he's a Louisville guy, went to Louisville, played at Louisville, but that's a guy who's got a lot of experience in college football. Hard-nosed guy, could really embody what they're trying to do there. It would just be, are they willing to have the stigma, I guess, of hiring the Louisville coach? I mean, Michigan fans are just, they think they're better than they are, even though they haven't really done that much outside the one championship year. So do they go that route? I mean, I'm looking at some of the teams in bowl games, like a Heupel maybe even.
How funny would a Brian Kelly hire be?
Oh
I mean,
God.
listen, I don't think that's anything to turn your nose up at potentially. I could see.
I just
that.
That's why I
don't
brought
see
it.
that
That's why I brought it
don't see
up.
that happening. I don't see that happening.
I don't know. Brian Kelly screams pretentiousness and thinks he's better than he is. That's kind of what Michigan is, as their heart of the
No,
organization.
I think
just
they're.
don't think they're hiring a guy that just got fired because Michigan's so pretentious. They're not going
I
to
know,
do that.
but where else are they going to look?
Here's the thing. I think they could look anywhere. Like they could
I
pull
hear
a
you,
hire
but
from another school. They could someone that just signed somewhere. They could pull him in a second.
maybe a little Stinkin' Riley.
I think it'd be more. I think their best scenario is if like you said, Boone, they could lure like a Marcus Freeman or like a Dan Lemming and get them away, and feel
You're not
like you're
getting
taking a
Freeman.
bigger job.
I don't know. They're taking Freeman.
You're not getting Freeman. That's not.
I have-
That's not a bigger job.
I have heard through the grapevine that Freeman is highly touted for some NFL jobs. So, needless to say, this coaching carousel is going to continue to take turns. But in the college football world outside of coaching, there's not a whole lot of games to get stuck into right now. Obviously, the biggest rivalry of the year is this Saturday. Ev, I know one that's near and dear to your heart as a fan of just the pomp and circumstance that is college football. You want to talk a little Army-Navy?
Let's do it. Before we do that, I do have to jump into. I'm not sure if you guys. I want one last coaching piece of tidbit here.
Oh, yeah.
Have you heard who the Gamecocks are targeting as our next running backs coach?
Penn State's coach,
No,
right?
Penn State's
We
coach.
talked a little bit about Art Briles or Kendall Briles yesterday, but
I-
Penn State's running back coach.
Yeah, so I'm not going to comment on Kendall Briles at this time. I'm hoping my take on him is my same as it was on Drake May. That's my decision. I've decided to be happy with the hire and look forward to it going into the year.
So let's just touch on that for a second. If you were choosing not to be happy, what would you have said? Hypothetically, of course. This is not you saying this is just hypothetically what you would have chosen to say.
I don't like it when a coach is leaving somewhere and being booed out of town the way he's being booed out of Fort Worth, Texas. Yeah, you could say it's a make it or break it spot, but I feel like we've kind of had that the last few years with our offensive coordinators. Maybe not last year's Shula, but it's just I wanted someone kind of young and fun and trending in the right direction right now. I didn't want someone having to go in there with something to prove. I wanted someone who's going to go make it for himself. and I just don't think he's that guy. You know, now, did we lose out on? Were we going to get the guy from ECU? That went to Ole Miss, didn't he? Baker or
I'm not
whatever.
sure.
I just know he
Yeah,
was young.
yeah. So that's what I wanted. I don't know if that's the guy I wanted. Like he just wanted, and he was everything I was looking for. I don't know if we lost out in those sweepstakes or we just decided we want Kendall Browse more. I don't know the exact situation, but that's what I was looking for. And getting a guy like this, it's one thing where I don't think I'm that upset about the hire. I'm more upset about who I was looking to have instead, and I'm taking a little bit of that out on Kendall Briles and not giving him a fair run. So I'm going to choose to keep my opinions a little bit to myself and see where we are come August. Actually come at the end of September. Come the end of September. I'm going to wait till the end of September. I am also going to, again, choose to not get my hopes too high up, but also not get my hopes too high down. I am fairly confident South Carolina will be bringing back a quarterback next year, wearing number 16.
Well, yeah, and I don't know if y'all saw. I don't know if y'all saw Sellers. Sellers was pretty excited, or not Sellers. Excuse me. Duckworth was pretty excited on the Briles hire. Briles, I guess, gave him his first offer at TCU, maybe, or Arkansas before that. So, listen, I always look to see if the quarterback's bought in to the OC hire. The quarterback of the future is definitely Duckworth. I hope we have Sellers one more year, but I watched a lot of those TCU games, and Josh Hoover's not an inspiring quarterback, and Briles had him playing like one. So I'm optimistic for it.
Yeah, like I said, I'm choosing to not be to be down on this. It's just not who I wanted. Hopefully it is it's kind of like you get the wrong gift for Christmas. It turns out to be a great gift. So maybe that's where I need to be. Stop being a little kid about this. And one thing I will say, and I'm not going to take credit for this. It's in talking to some other of our friends, Gamecocks fans. It really seems like how bad the South Carolina Gamecocks season was this year. And sorry for going a little bit tangent. We can jump Army Navy, but
yeah,
and maybe this will change. But it seems like a lot of the negativity around the program has been incredibly media driven, which rightfully so. And you're trying to make that bold prediction. It sounds like a lot of that stuff where you're going to see a tidal wave of players leaving, or coming out of these signings, or decommitting, hasn't really happened. If anything, we've gotten a couple really big signings in.
yeah.
Players seem to be wanting to stay. And I think at this point, you would have seen a big name asked to leave by now. I mean, I'm not gonna confirm it, but I'm not. I just think it's a positive sign, and I didn't see the Duckworth thing about Briles, so that gives me a little bit more positivity here. And from what I have seen, Lenore Sellers, and I haven't watched too much of Duckworth, but I think his play style is very similar to Sellers. Is very much built for a Kendall Briles offense. That is the one really big positive that I've seen about Kendall Briles. It's just one thing that concerns me is his red zone play calling. It was the biggest thing he got ripped for at TCU.
Yeah, the only main guy I'm seeing on our transfer list so far is Nick Sharp. That was anything to even look at, and he even then wasn't that great this year. Michael Smith, obviously, we've talked about him ad nauseum. The last thing I'll say on the Gamecocks coaching search is I'm looking at 247 from the bigspur.com, and it's looking like Stan Drayton, the Penn State running back coach. It looks like that is kind of already locked up. He's preparing. It's preparing to be announced later this week, from what I'm reading.
So what other positions do we still have to fill? Tight end is going to be Sean Elliott. I heard that somewhere.
So much.
I wish they would leave the O line. I wish they would leave
Sean
the
Elliott.
line with Sean Elliott, but I don't see the rest of the jobs on here. We can find it and maybe talk about it on the next show.
Let's jump Army Navy then.
Before we touch on Army Navy, but before we do that, real quick, are y'all familiar with Jimmy Sexton?
Yeah.
Dude, this
NBA.
guy is no Jimmy Sexton. That you're thinking Collins or
Oh yeah.
on the Kings. Jimmy Sexton is a sports agent for coaches. This guy has made a lot of money this year.
He boycotted Penn State, right?
He's got Lane Kiffin, Kalen DeBoer, Steve Sarkisian, James Franklin, Dan Lanning, and Dabo all on the books. Those are his top clients. This guy, I mean, what a summer or what a fall for this guy. James Franklin, Lane Kiffin alone, but then you see like Dan Lanning's going to get a brand new deal, I'm sure. Dabo, he's probably going to leave wherever he goes, a new deal there within the next couple of years. But yeah, Jimmy Sexton, absolute goals from what this guy's done.
Apparently, he was the reason why Penn State had such a long search for their new head coach, because every time they got close, Sexton would shut it down because James Franklin's one of his biggest clients, so he was kind of trying to like stick it to Penn State by getting all these guys to not take the job.
Hey man, it's good to have the right guys in your corner. Yeah, Army Navy. We can talk coaches through the whole show. This is probably the most fun of the rivalry games. It's pretty much a standalone. We do have one bowl game. It's pretty solid actually on that Saturday as well. But this game is the the pinnacle of college football rivalries and just everything that goes, the over the topness of it. I'm pumped to have one last regular season game of the season. It's like a little treat after championship week.
Go Navy.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm also a Go Navy guy. I'm also, if you bet the over in this game, you deserve to be killed by a firing squad. I don't care what you think is going to happen. You bet the under in this game. In a perfect world, I bet 0 touchdowns in this game. This is a game that deserves to end 2-0. That's the perfect score for this football game.
Scoregami.
Yeah, that's the perfect score for this football game. I don't even know what the other bowl game is. I will step away if you guys want to talk about it. I will not be turning it on out of respect for Army Navy. There should be no other football games on Army Navy Saturday.
It's a solid game though.
That doesn't matter. That does not matter. It's called.
Does.
It's either putting America first or putting football first. Listen, it's a close call, but America's going to win that 10 times out of 10. So that's how that goes.
I don't know, man. Right around 8 o'clock Eastern time when Boise State takes on the Washington Huskies in the first bowl game of the year, you're not going to watch that?
Not a second.
That's crazy to me. That's crazy to me. That game's going to be awesome. But yeah, no, this is a...
I'm kidding with you. I'm definitely going to watch the football game, too. Well, however, unless for some reason Army Navy's in overtime, you don't go split screen on Army Navy. Army Navy is the full screen.
Army Navy's at 3.
Well, hey, listen. If it's
3 o'clock.
in a perfect world, we're playing to like 4 a.m. Army Navy. I mean, that's if I can have my way. 20, as many as I can get.
Yeah, I've watched Navy play a couple times this year, and they're an infuriating team to watch when you take an over. Who were they? Memphis. They were playing Memphis. The game was well on its way to the over, and then Navy had 2 drives in the second half. Each took 8 minutes.
I remember that.
They just go to the line. They wait till 10 seconds left in the play clock to even get set. And then they run it up the middle with their quarterback or their fullback, and then they do it again. And they just 4 yards in a cloud of dust.
So I mean, that's shame on you for picking an over in an academy game. So
it was like 41, and it was Memphis.
I don't even know what the one is this weekend. What are we looking at for an over in this one? It doesn't matter. I'm taking the under at
38 and a half.
Yeah, that's an easy under.
Yeah. But there's not too much to talk about. If we want, Chuck, I know we did this a little bit yesterday, but we can dive into the bracket a little bit farther now that we have Ev back, and we can. Ev, what you missed yesterday is I lamented about the Colts, obviously, and we'll touch on them in the NFL. But a really shitty day was had by Notre Dame Colts fans.
Yeah,
there's a lot of them out there.
There's a lot of Notre Dame Colts fans who are happy their ceiling fans aren't very sturdy.
So what's your take? What's your take on the bracket?
So I said this to you guys over text, and I'm sure you guys said this. I don't think Miami gets in. Virginia wins. I think the committee, I don't know what, biased an ACC team in there. They couldn't leave an ACC team out. That's what I think happened.
It's a major conference. That's what it comes down to. It's a major conference.
I will die on that hill. I understand Miami getting in over Notre Dame. I do. However, I think it's pussy shit, nonsense, bullshit. If I'm a Notre Dame fan, I think you have every right to be as mad as humanly possible. For them to get flip flopped by Miami based off of those previous rankings makes zero sense. There's no explanation. I'm okay if the rankings had come out the week before and Notre Dame was flip flopped and then Miami gets in. That's fine with me. I'm pissed that they flip flopped it and there's no reason for the flip flop. You can't explain it. You can't explain it. Oh, a week later we thought it through.
Did you hear their reasoning?
No, I did not.
So this'll crack you up, I'm sure. It'll make plenty of sense once I explain this. The committee chair came out after the ranking was announced and said they only rank teams compared to the team directly ahead and below them on the ranking line. So because Miami and Notre Dame weren't dead next to each other, and BYU is in between them, that's why they hadn't considered the head-to-head or compared those two teams head-to-head against each other until BYU lost, moved that team back, and then they were right next to each other as 10 and 11 on the line.
That's the biggest
So that's
bullshit.
why they
Doesn't make any
That's
sense.
that's so basically what they're saying is they don't take the whole scope of everything into play at all. Like that's just so stupid. That's ridiculous.
I just think like imagine how much more exciting it would be if Notre Dame and like Vanderbilt even Texas were snuck in there over JMU and Tulane. I feel like it just makes it not as
listen,
enticing.
I've gone about this in many ways as I can. I'm not going to beat the dead horse. The college football playoff system is wrong, and I've actually am now on the point. I have the perfect system. And I'm going to establish it to you right now. There's no such thing as an automatic qualifier except in one situation. A situation where a team from any conference goes undefeated and wins their conference championship. That gives them an automatic bye. Otherwise, it's the best 12 teams. So, for example, let's say a JMU went undefeated and won their conference championship, which they did not. They would get an automatic bid. Other than that, it's just the best 12 teams, and that's it. End of story.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you have to do it. No conference championships, but it does give that Power 5 team that has a really good year, if they go undefeated and win their conference championship, it gives them a bid. So, that's how it should be done. If anyone wants to come up with a better idea, please let me know. But that's what I got for you.
What we're on the road for is a 12 team or a 16 team, excuse me.
Yeah.
That's and I think that the 12 team is already fine numbers wise. They put themselves into a hole they couldn't get out of with their own rules. And at the end of the day, it's the ACC's fault. I mean, the ACC's tiebreaker rules is what caused Duke to be in that game in the first place. Granted, we don't not a dime back. Duke won. Duke is ACC championship. There is the ACC champion.
Oh yeah, congrats to your dad, by the way.
Dude, it was an unbelievable game. Charlie and I froze our ass off. But at the end of the day, common logic tells you that it's Miami versus Virginia. Miami wins that game 9 times out of 10, and then Miami and Notre Dame both get in. It's the ACC's fault at the end of the day, but the committee hamstrung themselves into what they could and couldn't do. Does JMU or Tulane have a shot? No. Did they deserve to be in based on the rules as they were written? Yes. And that's just no one's fault but the committee.
I'm not. Yeah, I have no animosity towards JMU and Tulane. I would be ecstatic if either of those teams won, but you can't say by the rules they deserve to be in, by scope of playing and all that stuff. Realistically, they don't deserve to be in. But by the rules they deserve to be in. All the credit to them. I wish them the best of luck. It'd be fantastic to see one of them win a game.
Yeah,
especially Tulane over Ole Miss, which is kind of funny because they got their asses kicked by like 30-something earlier this year.
Well, and let's talk about that. Let's go ahead and just switch into the first 4 games we have because we have times, we have dates. The committee, not only did they screw themselves with how the rankings were done, but I get time zones, and I get Oregon is on the West Coast, but Oregon JMU, the 21.5 point spread as the 7 p.m. Saturday game, that is crazy business.
I mean, well, you got to think about it. Oregon's on the West Coast.
That's what I know. That's what I just said. But like,
Yeah.
it just make them play at 3. I mean,
You mean like it's tough for JMU?
No, it's just like give us a better game for the late slate. Like,
Yeah,
why
I
is,
guess
why is
3.
Miami Texas A&M the 12 o'clock slate on
Right.
Saturday? Like
Yeah.
the way they should have done is Tulane Ole Miss at the 12 o'clock slate, James Madison Oregon at 3:30, and then Texas A&M Miami at 7:30 or whatever. That would have been a great Saturday.
Yeah.
I do love the Alabama Oklahoma State.
My
11
gosh,
Friday, though.
those
That's gonna be
Tulane
awesome.
and JMU spreads are just ridiculous.
It's no fun.
It'd be a lot more fun to see Notre Dame and like Texas in there. But
Right.
I digress. That's where we're at.
Listen, I'm going to give the committee one more chance to get it right. They got one more year to figure it out, or go to the 12-team playoff. I don't know.
They're going to have to change.
They're
They're going
16.
to have to change everything again.
It's either 16-team playoff or 12-team, and it's my rule. But I don't know if that'll be the chance.
Dare I say it?
This show.
Or 4-team automatic qualifier. Maybe they'll do a 4 per conference automatic qualifier. I don't fucking know. But you can't have 2 teams like that get in again. Like, it just isn't. It's no good. There's no world where 2 teams should get in like that.
No, I agree. I think Oregon's going to boat race JMU. I don't think that's any surprise. I do think Alabama's going to take the win over Oklahoma in the rematch. Tulane is a live dog to me.
Tulane isn't dead. Tulane isn't dead. You never know.
Ole Miss doesn't have a coach. Tulane's keeping their
Tulane
coach
are
on to
fun.
the playoff. And then Miami, Texas A&M. I'll be hate watching Miami or Texas A&M, rooting for Miami in that game as well.
I actually might root for there to be something catastrophic happen in that game.
Kyle Field.
That's a rematch, right?
Yeah, maybe like
that's one of the few non-rematches.
Maybe like a Dark Knight Rises type situation. Bane.
I know. I'm thinking of Notre Dame
after the opening kickoff. We'll see. Yeah, that's the Texas A&M Miami game is the game of we kept Notre Dame out game. It's the we kept Notre Dame out together.
It's the Notre Dame Losses Bowl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody on Twitter was like, if only we could compare Notre Dame to these 2 teams here and see how they'd stack up.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, ultimately, it sucks we don't have college football, real college football until 10 days from now. But I do enjoy having the playoffs go all the way into the new year. But I guess there's not really much else to get to on college football. It's just it's that time of year.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Well, let's jump into some NFL then.
Yeah, we've got a pretty solid slate here. I talked enough about the Colts yesterday. I'll touch on them again here before y'all can do previews on actual teams. We suck. We're fucked. We're dead. My grandfather is my starting quarterback.
Yeah, he also, hey, quick shout out to one of our friends, Boone. Griffin Hamilton, Phillip Rivers, I'm not sure what he was doing in the offseason, but he now looks like Griffin Hamilton. And that's no shot at Griffin Hamilton, by the way, but I don't know what it is. I just saw that, thought I would share that. But yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, if only, at least we're not playing 2 of the top defenses, division game, and the 49ers. At least that's not what we have for the last 4 games of the year. But
especially a 49ers team that are going to be fighting for a playoff spot.
Yeah, and a game that I'll be at, and I had already bought tickets before this injury happened. So yeah, that's the Colts. The state of the Colts. We're in bad shape. Anyone care to take the reins?
Yeah. Sure. Of course, Patriots did not play last weekend, and just the sheer and utter disrespect coming out of Las Vegas, Nevada this week. Patriots, a dog at home to a team they've beaten. A team that we could beat and celebrate an AFC championship at home in Foxborough on Sunday. The disrespect. Now listen, I'm not going to sit here and say this is going to be an easy game. I think this is a game that's going to go down to the wire. The Patriots defense is going to have to step up. I think Josh Allen's going to have a big game. But I think a week to prepare, we're going to come in all fired up for this game. I do like the Patriots here to edge one out over the Bills. But at the end of the day, this is about disrespect. I am so happy we got disrespected and the Bills are favored in this game. I think that bodes well for the Patriots. That's going to fire them up a little bit more, give you a little bit more bulletin board material, and we're going to win this game and kind of coast through the rest of the season following it. So I'm excited for Sunday, excuse me. It's going to be a good football game. This is not going to be an easy win by any means, and I think it's going to be a real test to see how far this Patriots team has come.
Yeah, I'm very excited for this one, especially because I feel like the last time these two teams faced off, it was kind of like a Drake May coming out party, and it was like oh snap, he can actually beat these really good teams. So I feel like this is also probably the best team they face this year, right? So if they can do the double on them, that's pretty insane.
Yeah, they've already shown that they can. Listen, the Patriots are a good team. The AFC is so wide open, which I think that's what hurts with the Jones injury even more. The winner of this game, if the Patriots win this game, they are probably the favorites in the AFC. If the Bills win this game, we're not back to square one, but there's a lot of questions being asked about the Patriots, fairly or unfairly. That just is what it is. That's what people do. We overreact to everything.
It depends on what the score is, too. I mean, if it's a 30-28, you're not asking questions about the Patriots. If it's a 31-17, you start asking questions. I absolutely agree.
Right, and it all depends on how the game flows. This is probably the best game of the weekend. I do love the 1 o'clock best game of the weekend. The 1 o'clock slate to me is just that's the most NFL slate.
Oh, it's a competitive slate for sure.
Chuck, speaking of competition,
yeah,
your boys are fighting for the division, which is something nobody thought or saw coming.
I was just about to say the door is wide open after the Bucks got shucked last weekend, but that only means that now the Panthers got to get past getting shucked. But what 3 or 4 weeks ago they lost to the Saints, so this is just a classic letdown spot after that big Rams win. Also coming off a bye, similar to the Patriots. And this is just like hey, do you want to go to the playoffs game? Because if you do, I feel like you got to win this with Seattle coming up twice, and then we face the Bucks. So this is a massive game. Could take them to 8-6, which is pretty unheard of given the way they started the season. So
wait. You're not playing Seattle twice. What?
Yeah, why would you play Seattle twice?
Sorry, I meant the Bucks twice.
Tampa? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right.
You do have Seattle once, though. You have
the Bucks twice and with Seattle in the middle. Yeah. Either way, it's gonna get competitive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, I love the Panthers here, especially the Saints coming off a win. Y'all are trying to get your revenge off a bye week. I think the Panthers show out here, and they're going to have the benefit of knowing what happened in the Bucks game already because the Bucks play tomorrow night. I think that actually is going to be super important for the Panthers that we see. If the Bucks lose, do the Panthers come out flat, thinking that the Saints are, the easy cakewalk to get revenge on? If the Bucks win, does that put some more pressure on them? How does that react with a young team?
I just hope regardless.
The Panthers have everything in front of them.
Yeah, I just hope they don't come out conservative in this game because that's when they just invite pressure and they collapse is when they think, oh, it's the Saints, let's play safe. When in reality, they got to come out and just start attacking them.
Mm-hmm.
But there's some other pretty crazy games this weekend. I don't know if you guys want to get into those next.
Our picks, or do we want to? Yeah, so do we want to get a picks, or do we want to?
Yeah, let's go to our picks and see what we cover, and then we can go from there.
All right. Let me just go ahead and get these written down. Who wants to kick things off?
I'm happy to do that, and this is one.
But before, are we adding a total to our picks this week since there's no college?
I have one added.
An over under. Okay.
Yep. So I am gonna go with the best bet here. I got the team I think are complete frauds, and that's the Denver Broncos. And I love the Packers -2. Love the Packers as a 2-point favorite here. I think it's a great weekend for the Patriots. The Patriots move up, get one more win. The Broncos get one loss, continue to climb, take a little bit more possession of that number one seed in the AFC. Super Bowl goes through Foxborough, just like the good old days.
Fuck off. Chuck, what about you? What's your best bet?
Yeah, it's funny you say that because that was also going to be my best bet was the Packers. So this is tough now.
You can.
It's
We've had some double ups in the past. If you are needing to double up,
it disgusts me as much as I want to take the Panthers this week. I just can't. I just can't. But it disgusts me how much I want to. I mean, there's a lot of other interesting spots, but that Chargers spread is enticing.
you've been on the Chiefs the last several weeks, Chuck. You jumping ship?
I might, yeah. After last week, I might have to jump ship. That was a tough watch. Um, yeah, the Rams lines will be. I almost like that Lions spread.
All right. Well, I'll go ahead and give my best bet while Charlie's looking through the board.
Yeah,
I'm going to take Texans -9. I don't think the Cardinals are any good. The Texans are playing like maybe one of the best teams in the NFL. And that defense, I just don't know if that defense is going to give up enough points for the Cardinals to cover 9.
The Texans are looking scary. The Texans are not somebody you want to play right now.
No, and
Yeah.
having just played them, I can attest to that. Although we had a shot to beat them, everything's bad. Everything's bad.
Drake May might have might have something to say about it, but
Yeah, we'll see.
also happy 10th day of Bakemas to everyone that celebrates. Shout out and Michael May.
Baked miss. All right. Chuck, we'll come back to you. Do you have a best bet?
yeah. Let's go with Chargers +5. I just feel like that's a lot of points for a Chargers team that's played teams very close this season. They're going to be getting some players back as Amari and Hampton gets more healthy. Herbert's hand heals up even more, and I really like the way they played the Eagles. And I just think if the Chiefs run away with this one, it's going to be because everything went right and everyone's catching everything and their offense is clicking.
Send us back around with your favorite dog.
Favorite dog this week is one that I feel like I just got to go with, even though it doesn't make any sense, and that's the Falcons. Hey, it's a division game. The Bucks have just let teams run on them, especially as of late, and I feel like Bijan's kind of due for a big game. And the Bucks are in trouble. I hate to be biased, but the Bucks just feel like they're in trouble to me. I feel like Baker's had a lot of issues recently. Like Igbuka's had a bunch of drops, and I feel like the Falcons are they're just catching them at a weird time right now. And I think Drake London comes back too.
He does, or he's supposed to. He's set to.
Yeah.
I don't hate it. I can't trust the Falcons anymore after how many times they've falconed me this year. I'm gonna go back to the well of where I went last week. A little opposite though. Last week I had the Steelers money line that they covered on the road. This week I think they get got. I'm taking the Dolphins money line. Winners of 4 straight. The Steelers used all their good juju up. Everyone's feeling good again. Tomlin is a favorite at home in a spot that he needs. I just think the AFC North, nobody wants to win that division, and the Dolphins are going to get it done. Tua has broken the curse of winning games in 37 or whatever the temperature was. So, yeah, give me the Dolphins. Shout out Palmer.
Boone, that was one of my picks as well, so you made this a little bit easier for me. And here's one that might shock some people. Give me the Lions. Money line on the road in Los Angeles.
This is a must-win for the Lions. I know that was last week too, but they've they're the 8th seed right now, I think, so they've got to keep winning.
Nah, they could win this, yeah.
They could absolutely win this. I like that spot. Ev, you wrap us up. What's your total? What's your favorite total of the week?
Just like Charlie, going to go with that Thursday night game. Give me Bucks Falcons over 44.
All right. Man, tell me if this will count because this is a little bit out there. I'm going to take the Arizona Cardinals team total under 17 if I'm allowed.
I'll allow it.
I'm taking a line out of my college football book. The best defenses don't allow a lot of points to bad teams. I think the Texans are the best defense in the NFL. Will Anderson is an absolute monster, and that whole team just looks terrifying to opposing offenses. I think they're going to get home a couple times. I don't see the Cardinals scoring a lot of points. Chuck, round it off with you.
Yeah, give me the over in the Bills Patriots game. I feel like that one's just going to be electric. It's a 1 o'clock kickoff.
What's the weather like, Ev?
Listen, I'm not. It's gonna be rainy and cold.
I think it's like 49 points. I'll take it.
I'm in the state of West Virginia right now, and it's cold, freezing rain. It's been cold all weekend. It's no fun.
Hey,
it's not a good spot to be.
If the Bills and Bengals can put up a 70 burger in the snow, I trust these two.
Fair enough. And then let's build out our parlay. It's now that college football is not around to torment us anymore, and maybe we can continue some success in the NFL.
And I'm gonna throw this out there as a parlay. I think we should include the Army Navy under.
I'm fine with that.
Okay.
Army Navy under 38.5.
Throw it in there.
I'll kick mine off first. Like I said, I'm gonna go back to the well. If it's working, don't change things. Give me Jamar Chase over 90 yards. He just likes to play the Ravens. He did it a couple weeks ago. Jamar Chase over 90 yards.
All right. Evan, you want to go next?
All right, boys. Do I go prop or do I go game pick? Any thoughts? Charlie, are you going prop or game prop? Are you going prop or game pick?
I'm in between. There's one game that I've been eyeing for a while now, and I'm in between taking the points or I'm trying to see what the line is.
Fuck it. Charlie decided for me. Give me Drake May over 300 yards passing. It's gonna happen at home in Foxborough to clinch the division on Sunday, December the 14th.
He gets his line.
In Lord 2025.
Oh.
That would be the best way for him to finally get that monkey off of his back. The monkey that doesn't really exist outside of people in the media just making it a big talking point. To get that on T-shirt night would be pretty big.
Hopefully they have a 300-yard T-shirt made, ready to share that.
Hopefully it says Drake May.
If we're throwing the Navy under in there, then give me Cowboys money line at home versus the Vikings.
Okay.
Yeah, this would be an interesting one. The Cowboys have to bounce back and get a big win here. I mean, the Eagles keep making it easy for them the way they're playing. I do have a question for you boys.
Did our Survivor pick? All right, we're out, right?
No, we're still in.
Oh, okay.
We're one of 4 teams left.
Rams, right?
Six teams had the Buccaneers last week.
So hey, I do want to throw this out there, just a little personal brag in my Survivor pool. I do all by myself with my friend, my family. I'm the only undefeated person left, so maybe we just follow my picks all year. But anyways, nonetheless, let's dive into our Survivor pick for the week.
Real quick before we do that, I've got a question for you.
Yep.
for the class. So there's four games this week with double digit spreads. Historically speaking, at least one of those teams will lose outright. I want to see if we can pick that team out. Maybe a little podcast money line bet on one of these. So we've got the Raiders at the Eagles, 11.5. We got the Jets at the Jags, 13.5. We've got the Titans at the Niners, 12.5, and we've got the Colts at Seattle, 13.5. There's only one that I like, and I don't like it very much. But historically speaking, one of these teams will lose outright as a double-digit dog.
There's one.
Raiders.
J-E-T-S. Jets.
I would agree with you. It's just they have this whole Brady Cook problem that makes me wholly unconfident. Which, maybe that's exactly why they win this game outright.
I'm saying Raiders.
There's no way the Eagles lose this game.
I mean,
Eagles have been dog shit.
Is it Phil Rivers coming back?
That'd be pretty cool.
The Seahawks are worse at home than they are on the road.
Charlie, the Eagles are my pick of the week to win this.
I mean, the Colts have the team, so they could do that.
The Titans are hot. The Titans are hot.
Yeah.
But now the Titans aren't winning 2 games in a row. Let's not get insane.
The Titans put up 30 points. All right, so should we do Survivor?
Yeah, let's do Survivor. We'll finish it off with the picks from last week and get everyone out of here. Short show this week, like we said. There's not a ton going on. I can share my screen because I'm doing this on the computer today, so we can all look through it. All right. So yeah, we're one of 4 teams left. Here's who we can still pick. I have a couple teams I wrote down: Texans, 49ers, Bucks, Eagles, and Bears. I think Charlie's against the Bucks, so we can leave them off. But
I like Texans or Eagles.
Yeah, Texans looks good.
So here's the thing: the Texans do play the Raiders next week, so keep that in mind.
Okay.
I mean, if you want to choose the Eagles, we can. I've just been burned on the Eagles the past 3 weeks. But it is the Raiders, and it is at home.
Yeah, they have to win this game. There's no you can't. And the listen, as bad as the Eagles have played, they're too good to lose this game.
I mean, I'm cool with using the Texans next week as opposed to this
That's
week.
the only reason I want to save. Because the Texans play the Raiders next week.
Yeah, I'm cool with it.
We just go against the Raiders, and that's our strategy.
You don't want to use the Ravens against the Pats next week?
I mean, honestly, I think that's a game where the Patriots could lose. So, but yeah.
All right. We want to go Eagles?
I vote Eagles.
Let's do it.
All right. We'll see if we win. We can go ahead and wrap the show with how the picks fared last week. We went into the week, Evan at 12, Charlie at 14, myself at 17. Charlie was the first beneficiary of the double dog extra points. There's been some movement, not a ton. Ev, just running through yours really quick. You had Texas Tech plus 12 or minus 12.5. That hit. Bama money line, never had a chance. Colts 1.5. Thank you. That led to the torn Achilles, and then Texans money line. So you got 2 points there, bringing yourself to 14. Chuck, you had Ohio State, Indiana over 47.5. Never had a chance. Duke money line. So a good dog win there. But then in the NFL, you had Cowboys money line and Chiefs minus 3. So you got 1 point there, bringing your total to 15. And I had Ohio State minus 4, no dice. UNLV money line, no dice. But then I had Rams minus 7.5 and Steelers money line, so 2 points there. Bring my total to 19. So we currently sit right now 19, 15, 14, going into the last stretch of the season.
So I will comment here. Obviously, there's no double dog winner this week. However, are we saying if you get all 3 right, you end up with 4 points?
Yeah, I think so. That's the only way to continue to do it. And maybe we'll try to figure out another way that we can.
I like it.
add a fourth pick in, so we have something that at least
Maybe
stays consistent throughout the season.
a prop bet of the week or something like that.
Yeah, we could do that. And add that
Good, yeah.
in for the remainder of the NFL season because it's really just NFL now.
Yeah, we'll discuss offline on like what the parameters of the prop bet has to be because we can't do like a minus 190 to a plus 300 or something like that. We'll have to figure out what the parameters are.
Right.
Well, boys, it was great to be back. I know you guys got to run here, so great to be back. Excited for a good weekend of football, and we'll catch everybody next week.
Yeah. Thanks, y'all.
Good show.
Peace.
Peace.
Bye.